This is really simple, but if you don't do it right, you will have horrible firewood and really stand a chance of burning your house down with a nasty and dangerous chimney fire. So I'm going to make sure that you guys have good information from the start out. This might seem like basic for some people, it might not for some people, and there's only a few important points here, so this will be a fairly quick video. Now let's get started. This here is one of my little stacks of firewood. This is actually a perfect example of everything not to do. In fact, I only got one little point kind of right on this whole stack. Rule number one for stacking your firewood outdoors is you need it in a spot where the sun can hit. If you didn't notice, this is the woods. There's trees all around. There's no sun that's going to come in here much at all. You need a spot where you can get sun to hit, because that direct sun, whether it's spring, winter, summer, fall, works incredibly well to dry out and suck the moisture right out of the wood. Keep it dry and help it to dry quick after a rain. Rule number two is you need it somewhere where there's good airflow. There's not good airflow in the woods. You want it somewhere where it's going to get a good wind. The strongest wind around is fine. You want good wind. It's like putting a fan on there to help it dry out. Another big important point, which is the only thing I did right here, is when you stack the wood, if it is split wood, I know some of the smaller pieces you don't even have to split, but if it's split wood, stack it bark side up. And that is so when rain does fall down on it, it drips down off to the sides. It tends to drip off of the wood all the way down the stack, and it doesn't soak in nearly as quickly as if you stacked it bark side off to one side or the bark side of the piece on the bottom. Two more points. Number one is you want your pile of wood off the ground. If you don't take it off the ground, the bottom layer will go bad before you have a chance to burn it. It'll be waterlogged and you can't burn wet wood. That's what'll burn your house down. Wet wood burns too cold, which means that the gases and the particles in the gas are not burning up very well, which means it's burning super dirty and filthy, and you're going to get way tons more creosote. That's what causes chimney fires. Wet wood burns too cold, which burns with way too much poor smoke, and you're going to get tons of creosote buildup. If you burn with just dry wood, that creosote burns right up and just becomes a gas, mainly CO2 and CO. And finally is you cover it. This is not covered at all. If you do cover it, it just flat out works better. Now covering is, let me put this out there, covering is if your wood's already dry. If you're trying to dry it out, you don't want it covered all the time. Or at least uncover it when it's real hot and sunny to help it dry and help the wood cure. But once the wood is ready to burn, you want to keep it covered if it's outside, because that keeps water out of it. Something as simple as just throwing a tarp down on top. If it's a big enough tarp, you can tie down the edges, or tarps usually have little metal grommet loops in the ends. You can just get tent stakes quite often and stake those down on the ground around it. Real simple, it doesn't take too much. All you have to know for storing your firewood outside is you want it to be in a spot where it gets full wind, full sun, keep it off the ground, keep it covered, stack it bark side up. Those are important. You have to do those, because if you don't, you're going to either have to clean your chimney out much more often, or you're going to really risk burning your house down with a horrible chimney fire. Please don't do that. So thanks for watching Northern Homesteading. It's freezing out here and I gotta get in and warm up. Go ahead and click the like button if you care to, and look around for more useful content. Well, thanks folks. Bye now.